Justice is often a long and winding road. And for Nnamdi Kanu, the embattled leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, the journey has taken yet another turn. A federal high court in Abuja has adjourned his trial indefinitely after Kanu and his counsel, Aloy Ejimakor, argued that the presiding judge, Justice Binta Nyako, no longer had the jurisdiction to handle the case following an earlier recusal. Now, despite this, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Soko, reassigned the case back to Nyako, insisting that a formal application must be filed before her recusal can be acknowledged. As legal wrangling continues, Kanu's fate remains suspended in uncertainty, further prolonging a case that has gripped the nation for years. BKO, Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal adjourning this case indefinitely. What does this mean?
You know, I think the Justice Binta Nyako at some point got fed up and decided that she was going to recuse herself. He got tired of Nnamdi Kanu's antics. And she said, look, I'm no longer going to handle this matter. But what today we read a news item earlier that Kanu had been told to show up in court unfailingly today. And when Kanu showed up in court, he was told that indeed the matter, the Chief Judge had refused to reassign the case to another person. Okay. The Chief Judge, after Justice Nyako said she was recusing herself, the Chief Judge declined to allow her to go. The Chief Judge ruled that she must continue the matter. Now, that is what Kanu then flared up, because as far as Kanu is concerned, the judge is biased. The judge has not handled his matter very well. You can see clearly that Kanu has lost it here. He's very angry.
Yes.
He wants the case reassigned to someone else. And he's saying, if we cannot find any judge in the FCT to handle my matter, then send it to the Southeast. Send my matter to the Southeast, and the matter will be addressed. I think that Kanu felt that at this stage, a political solution will have been found to this matter. You know,
that's the game plan.
Yes, he wanted, and he said, look, I'm prepared. Even if you put me under house arrest, I'm happy. He said that at the time. And he said whatever decision, he also reached out through the federal attorney handling the matter, that he would like an out-of-court settlement. Okay. Nothing has happened on that. So despite the effort that is made to get his matter sorted out of court, he can see that there is no movement along that line. Okay. That can frustrate any man who has been in detention for about going to 3 years or so now. Yes, yes, 3 years. So I think since 2021 he's been there. So it's more than 3 years already going to. So any man will be frustrated. But I think it was wrong of him to be abusing the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court and the presiding judge in the way he has done. Look at what he said. He said, you cannot preside over this case, not now, not today, not ever. You stand recused, as you must leave, and you must leave my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. Tell the Chief Judge that Nnamdi Kanu says so. This is not a court of law. This is a shrine to injustice, and I will not subject myself to it. You know, the judge tried to say, look, I am going to, the order that I'm going to make right now is an indefinite adjournment, since the Chief Judge of the High Court, Federal High Court, had not agreed to
Accept the
to give.
recusal.
I mean, agreed to
The recusal?
yes, and then assigning the matter to another person. Now the Kanu said, "You have no jurisdiction to adjourn. None whatsoever. You cannot make an order without jurisdiction." So as far as Nnamdi Kanu is concerned, by recusing herself at the time she did, she had lost any link, any right to continue to preside over that matter. And he said, "Look, I will not allow you to continue to handle my case." So it's like Kanu is trying to force the hand of the judiciary to give him another judge. And I guess they are sensing that it may be difficult for them to find a judge who will agree.
But was the chief judge wrong by not giving,
because sometimes
another judge on this case, since there is a recusal?
I think it's especially when Nnamdi Kanu himself does not want, and his lawyers do not want to continue with this judge. I think the best thing is to
give it to another.
Give it to another.
I've seen during the trial of Al Mustafa.
Okay.
There was something that the judge said.
He made a similar thing.
There was something that the judge said that they said, "No, we have lost confidence in you." This and that. The judge had to leave the matter. You know, so this happens from time to time, and you need the accused person to have belief that you will get justice in your court. Otherwise, you cannot force them. Other judges get another judge to handle the matter.
Nnamdi Kanu said he's alleging that the courts have been biased.
The judge
has been biased against him. But what are your thoughts here? And also, is there still room for a political solution on this Nnamdi Kanu issue?
There's always room for a political solution. We know somebody that was sentenced to death here in Lagos, a famous kidnapper, that is still going to school, that is still getting a degree, sentenced to death, which is something that will not happen in any other country in the world. So there's always room for political solution. And you and I know that we know a case of a man who was sent to jail, and they recalled the case for technical reasons, and the man is now a senator. So when it comes to political solution, it can always happen. But in this case, in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, there are 3 levels that everybody's being careful of.
Okay.
I'm sure the chief judge must have told 1 or 2 judges, "I'll give you this case," and they declined.
Oh.
Because of the high profile nature of the case. Because this is a case that even if you win, you lose.
What do you mean by that? Even if you
win legally.
Yes.
But you will lose in the court of supporters of Nnamdi Kanu.
Oh.
And these people are not the easiest going people that we know. So sometimes you just have to bite the bullets and give it to a judge who doesn't care. And I think this something that they've just done is basically to give the chief judge enough time so that they can get somebody.
But the chief judge was saying that they needed to apply
formally through the woman.
Okay, through the...
it must go back to her.
Okay.
They apply formally, and then we'll now get it. Or now, maybe the schedule or the post or whatever they do.
They told the defendant to file a formal request for the matter to be reassigned.
I guess that's how the rule should go. That's
the way I've always seen it. That's the way I've
always seen it. But Kanu, as you know, is basically going to say what he said. And I may be wrong. I'm sure.
I think it was gentlemanly at some point, but
it's getting frustrated.
The pressure is really getting to him because he must have felt that, given the request that he made for out-of-court settlement, given the remarks that he made in an open court the other day, that he will be that if he's out of detention, that the insecurity in the southeast will stop. You must have felt all of that should have swayed the prosecution to say, look, let's consider resolving this matter out of court. But you can see they are not they are not thinking about that. They
But,
still want to keep
but
him
on
in
a final note, because we are pressed for time, is there still room? Do you still have hope that there could still be some sort of political solution to it? Or you think...
I've always said that I wanted a political solution.
You want a political solution?
Yes, I've been consistent for the past 3 years on that, whether on issues with Jide, my YouTube program, or on journalists and that. I've always said that I believed a political solution was possible. But that's me talking. I know there are many people who have told me that, look, what are you talking about? Somebody wanted to set Nigeria ablaze and all that. And I have examples that I can cite as a historian and as a journalist of record, where even murderers were pardoned and where political solution was found. You know, I always cite even the example of Buthelezi and his people who are killing ANC members. They used to slash each other's throats. Then there was power sharing. Buthelezi became deputy.
Second deputy prime minister.
One of the two deputies.
Okay.
And the killing stopped.
And Rwanda.
Black on black violence. Black on black violence in South Africa was extremely shameful. In broad daylight, people will grab you.
They have a name for the machete they are using. I've forgotten the name.
But the whole thing stopped once.
Immediately, the political solution.
Yes, once the Unkata leader, once he was accommodated in the power league. So this thing, but I don't think Kanu has helped his own cause by the kind of comments. Even described the president of the Federal High Court as a stupid judge. You know, the insult today, he abused a woman a lot too. The lawyer, the government lawyer, abused that at your age because of the money you are collecting from the AGF.
Serious.
You are supporting injustice. You know, I think that if you want attitude to change about you have to calm down.
Exactly.
Give them a chance to consider.
All right then. Thank you so much. GKB, it's so nice to have you back.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in Nigeria.
And also...
It's more bearded now. It's more bearded now.
Exactly.
We are back home.
All right then, team captain.